All right. So everyone, please welcome to the latest meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. And today, this is a very special occasion because we are celebrating quite a lot of things. And not just one thing, but quite a lot of things. So, so thank you all for joining. And it's a good occasion because we're back into the Sunflower Room, which has some very good memories for us. And just a few ground rules before we start. First, we avoid talking about sex, religion, and politics, especially when it's intended to create controversy or to marginalize any person or individual. We also do not criticize any person publicly, any race, religion, party, or group of people, whether it's Toastmasters or not. We try to stay quiet during speeches. We avoid crosstalk. We avoid crosstalk on Zoom as well. And we only speak when it's our turn to speak and when we are asked to speak. So with that, it is my honor and privilege to welcome our president, distinguished Toastmaster Sarfraz Nazim.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and welcome fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. DTM Talha, do we have any guests in the room?
Yes, we have Toastmaster Rabia Zisha.
No, technically we don't have any guests.
Rabia who?
Rabia Zisha.
Welcome, Toastmaster Rabia. After a long time, good to see you. We online we have with us returning guest, Toastmaster Diana.
Actually, we have someone very special
Okay.
who has returned after a long time. Can we call him to the stage?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, Toastmaster Abid Ali, one of our past friends.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, Toastmaster Talha. Hello, Mr. President. Are you listening? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Toastmaster Talha, what I have to
You just have to
introduce myself. My name is Abid Ali Habib. I am one of the member of Pakistan Stock Exchange. I happen to be the director of Pakistan Stock Exchange Central Depository Company, National Clearing Company. And nowadays I'm in the business of investments. We do investment, we advise investment, and Toastmaster is my passion. Public speaking is my hobby. And I used to come for last many years. And I was president of Karachi Toastmasters Club in 2013. And then I left off and on. I used to come whenever, Toastmaster, the senior Toastmaster invites me. And now after listening that one of the one of the shining star, one of the shining star got the, big thing from the World Toastmasters Club. So this is a big achievement, and I want a standing ovation. Because seeing of you're such at a high level of Toastmasters competition, you did such a wonderful thing that it gives me the motivation to visit again to the Toastmasters Club. So you are now a true ambassador of our Toastmasters Club. And I hope so that with the evaluations of the senior Toastmasters, we will learn, something. And I have seen that in every meeting, the bottom line is that we have to attend the meeting. You learn something, whatever, even though you are not prepared. But if you are visiting the Toastmasters Club, This is the beautiful part of this journey. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aziz. DTM Talha, you can give him credit for an icebreaker speech. At this time, it is my honor to welcome Toastmaster Imran Rana, Club Secretary, and a very dedicated Toastmaster. Please give us a brief overview of the prior meeting, and then you can talk about our celebration and why we are celebrating. Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our last meeting was quite amazing, and I don't have the result. Result will be shared. Okay, I just got the result. So it was once again an amazing meeting. The speakers quite eloquent, and the table topic session was quite engaging and fun-loving. So the winner of the last speech, the best speaker was Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed. Best table topic speaker goes to DTM Sartre. Best speech evaluation goes to Toastmaster DTM Ali Ashar Anjum. And best Big Four. Can anyone guess? You didn't float the poll? Ali Hassan Babri, yes. And for critics' choice, just a minute. One last. Critics' choice goes to, who was the critic judge? Yes, the first place goes to DTM Talha bin Hamid, second place goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, and third place goes to Distinguished Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum. And finally, the best facilitator goes to myself as a grammarian. So that was all about last meeting. So over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Sarfraz Aziz.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. And now I would like you to say a few words about the speaker. You asked her to use her icebreaker speech and turn it into a speech, which she did. And it was voted as the second best video speech contest speech. To Toastmaster Imran Rana, I would invite you to say a few words about your feelings, what you felt when you found out that she had placed second. Did we lose Toastmaster Imran Rana? Toastmaster Fan, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, but I think if you look at the screen,
Yeah, I think that's
Salah bin
frozen.
Hamid,
They're frozen. So, yeah, I think they're correcting. Yeah, they're rejoining. So that's good.
coming. Yes, they're coming back.
Okay. Oh, Toastmaster
is
Imran,
muted.
please unmute.
Actually, it was a temporary, hopefully temporary disconnection. So now everything should work fine.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so we request her again and every member of Karachi Toastmasters Club to please represent us and win this time, because next time we never know that we'll get this opportunity or not. I think I'm not the right person to give her the tribute or what do we call a toast. So for that, I request the best person who can give you the toast. So let's welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much. Actually, Imran had written a toast, and just moments ago we were arguing about it backstage, that who would give what. So Imran has a toast as well, and he'll share it later. So I wrote a little poem Quiet, resilient, strong, but soft, holding all her pains aloft. She walked, then ran, then soared above, every word a labor of love. Today she shines high and bright, and lights the way with pride and might. She built her own world, and we all live in it forever enthralled. Thank you so much. Everything is so fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, we have heard that behind the success of every successful man, there is a woman. But in Toastmaster Anil Kadri's case, we were behind her success. So we should give ourselves a background of applause.
Yes.
Okay. Since I'm not distinguished Toastmaster Talha, so I had a friend who exactly works like Toastmaster Talha. So I suggested him, and he wrote a very good poem, and I would like to read it, and it's quite a lengthy. So that support was ChatGPT, and I don't call it ChatGPT because it really works like Talha. So I call him DTM Talha. Okay, so he wrote.
Can I say something? It seems that recording was stopped because you were disconnected. I don't see the recording. Is it going on?
No, it's going live. Can we stop live streaming because I'm reading ChatGPT poem, so I don't think. Okay, great. Okay, great. In the realm where words take flight, a star emerged, shining bright. Twice she soared on video's embrace, a toast to her in this poetic grace. With passion's fire, she took the stage, crafting stories, turning each page. The lens, her canvas, emotions, her art. Twice she won every listener's heart. Toastmaster Anam Kadri, a champion true. Your eloquence paints skies of blue. In Toastmasters' realm, you found your place, a Toastmaster, a testament to skill, determination's embrace. With courage, you faced the camera's eye and let your words like eagles fly. In each syllable, wisdom's seed, a tribute to your every heartfelt deed. To speak, to lead, to touch the soul, your victories stand as goals. A beacon for all through storm and mire, a testament to passionate fire. Let this verse be a resounding cheer for Toastmaster Anam Kadri we hold dear. May your victories inspire the air, a legacy of eloquence beyond compare. With reverence and joy, we say, congratulations on this special day. In every word, you found your voice, a Toastmaster spirit, your eternal choice. So, that was from ChatGPT. So, over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Appreciate it. I first got to know Toastmaster Anam Kadri when I attended some of the Karachi Toastmaster Club meetings. I think I remember her attending a training session that was organized by DTM Talha bin Hamid, where I gave a training on how to prepare a speech, especially for the speech contest. But I met Toastmaster Anam on Saturday, March 5th of last year, when I went to Toastmaster Rabia Zishan's house for the Karachi Toastmasters special meeting under the banner "An Evening with DTM Sarfaraz Nazir." I remember DTM Talha bin Hamid asked everyone in the room to say a few words about Sarfaraz Nazir, and they did. And then I was asked to say a few words. I was choked up after hearing some of the comments, even though I had never met anyone in KTC until that moment. At the moment when I said, you can take Sarfaraz out of Pakistan, but you cannot take Pakistan out of Sarfaraz. I remember there was a reaction from T.N. Anum. I was not looking at her at the moment when I said these words, but I could feel her reaction. That's how powerful her reaction was. And over the weeks and months, I got to know her even better. And I was so pleased when I found out that she had placed second in the Toastmasters International Video Speech Contest. The speech contest is very similar to a World Championship of Public Speaking. The difference is the district winners from district advance to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, to the World Championship. If the district is not a full-fledged district, undistricted clubs, they have the option of sending in a video from their club contest. And a panel of judges reviews the videos and they select the top 3. I also remember, in addition to her taking second place in the video contest, she also participated in several of the other contests in Karachi Toastmasters Club and went on to represent KTC in the area and beyond. She sent me a video one time and asked me for my comments. What I loved about her statement was, be honest, just say it. She did not want me to hold back. In other words, she did not want me to give her a whitewash evaluation. She wanted the truth, let her know what I liked about the speech and what I did not like it. This year, she competed again in the International Speech Contest. And this year, I was hoping that she may end up taking first place in the video contest. When I heard that she had taken second place again, I said, what a bummer. Then I realized what I had done. I gave a speech one time in Karachi Toastmasters Club meeting in which I talked about some of the silly things that I did when I was young, like using a BB gun to blow off the street lights. In my speech, I said, what a bummer. The evaluation of my speech was given by Toastmaster Anum, and she said that I should not be using the word bummer. Unfortunately, if you have seen The Big Bang Theory, followed by The Young Sheldon, in The Young Sheldon, Sheldon uses the word, what a bummer, several times. And each time I hear that word, it reminds me of the evaluation by T.N. Anum. I've even seen cartoons on Sunday's newspapers where it says, what a bummer. And one time when I saw that cartoon, I photographed it and sent it to T.N. Anum to let her know how many times that word bummer comes up. And it reminds me what a lovely person she is, very humble, quiet, but she makes Karachi Toastmasters Club and District 122 very proud. It is not easy to go back and win again. I remember people who took third place in the district contest, and they competed again the following year, hoping that now that they had experience, they could be better, take second or first place, and they end up going home empty-handed. It's not easy to repeat this feat. For someone to take second place twice, not many people in the world can do that. Thank you, T.N. Anum, for your achievement, and we celebrate with you, and we wish you the best of luck in your future speeches. At this time, it is my honor to introduce to you our Toastmaster for today's meeting, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. She is a fairly new member, but she has been very active, taken on roles from all the way from tabletop master to general evaluator to Toastmaster of the day. Please help me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the meeting of Toastmasters, which is the number? Even you don't know.
1069.
Okay, thank you all for coming and congratulations on your achievements. It's been a delight meeting you. I always wanted to see the beautiful wife of DTM Tala. And today our theme is celebrating weirdness. What is weirdness? Can anybody tell me?
And came out of the box.
And
If you ask Karan, he would say that it is me, it is this.
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
We can like, you're like but I'm the more prime example of the weird, I guess. So today we are celebrating weirdness. Weirdness is actually, I'm not gonna say it's like normal, but we have this inside us. We should embrace this actually, because we are not acknowledging in a perfect world where we are required to be perfect. We are not perfect at all. We know that we have flaws and we have to accept the flaws and help people realize that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to make mistakes and own them, and just like if just have fun with them, fun with your weirdness. So we're going to have an exciting meeting. I'm excited for all your speeches, and I've got one speech coming up too. So I want to know what else we're going to do now.
Well, you just introduced the role plays.
Okay.
So our grammarian is Toastmaster Anam Kadri. Our timer is Toastmaster Ali Sen Baba.
He is on the way. He just texted
He's on the
me.
way? All right. So meanwhile, someone else will do that role. Our counter is yet to be taken, and so is our vote counter. All right, our perpetual vote counter, DTM Saad. Our word master, Toastmaster Vase, actually, he was supposed to be grammarian word master, but he cannot.
He's
stand in the
online.
meeting.
He's on.
Yeah,
I can
so
see him.
Toastmaster Vase, if you can introduce the word of the day, it would be great.
Vasa, can you hear us?
Just wait a minute. Okay, so everybody, the word of the day is airy. EERIE, airy. Airy means strange and frightening. It's kind of weird, but in a scary way. So everybody, please use this word in my speech, but don't expect me using it in my own speech. Thank you.
Beauty word of the day. And grammarian, you can also note the usage of the word of the day. Our listener is Toastmaster Mufadal, who is here yet, but sorry, he's on the way. And our joke master is, can anyone guess?
Hiba.
Surprise. Oh, so Toastmaster Hiba. He's here with us today in person, so please come on the stage.
Hello, Toastmasters. There's a fine line between a numerator and a denominator. Only a fraction of people will get it. What do dentists call their X-rays? Toothpicks.
Toothpick. Oh, toothpick. Right.
Did you hear about the fire at the circus? It was intense. Why did the bullet end up losing his dog?
It was fire.
He got married, yes.
Oh.
How do you measure a snake?
Well, head to tail.
No, in inches. They don't have feet. And the last one, where does a waitress with only one leg work? I hope.
So the very first speaker, which is me,
You are, or
I think
is
it's
it DTM
me.
sir? Wait,
It is me.
is DTM sir cross?
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's an honor to invite our distinguished, amazing Sir Fras sir to the platform, and the platform is yours, sir.
So actually, this will be, this is not a project speech, it's something even better.
It's
It
a
is-
congratulations and an analysis of 2023 World Championship of Public
Exactly.
Speaking.
It's a critique of the World Championship speeches. And so, yeah. So,
And
over.
Sir.
which camera view is the timer?
Yeah, Karachi Toastmasters Club. I can raise this hand, so I don't need to, yeah. Yeah. So it's Karachi Toastmasters.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 World Championship of Public Speaking is now in the history books. Let me tell you what the championship is all about, then I will give you my opinion about the 8 speeches that we heard during the 2023 World Championship of Public Speaking. The opinions I'm about to express are my own opinions. They do not reflect the opinions of the Karachi Toastmasters Club or District 122 or Toastmasters International. That takes care of the disclaimer. In order to advance to the World Championship of Public Speaking, in the past, the contestants required 3 speeches. The speaker used the same speech from the club to the area, to the division, to district. In the semifinals, the contestants were required to come up with a new speech different than the one they had delivered at district. And those who advanced from the semifinals to the World Championship required a new speech, the 3rd speech, that is different than the speech given at the district or the semifinals. Since the old days when you needed 3 speeches, now it only requires 2 speeches. Toastmasters International has been changing the goalpost, making it easier. Just like clubs that do not have 20 members, less than 15 members, in order for that club to be a distinguished club, in the past you needed 5 new members, a net gain of 5 new members. Now that goalpost has been changed. You only need 3 new members because clubs are losing membership. Similarly, they've changed it from 3 speeches, now only you need 2 speeches. The district contest winners' winning speech is sent to Toastmasters International. Judges judge and select 2 top speakers from each region. There are 14 regions. That means you end up with 28 semifinalists. Toastmasters International divides those 28 semifinalists into 4 groups, semifinal number 1, 2, 3, and 4. The top 2 speakers from each semifinal advance to the World Championship of Public Speaking. About the 8 speakers who made it to the World Championship. The time is just like any speech contest, 5 to 7 minutes. The range of time for the 8 speakers was 6 minutes, 44 seconds to 7 minutes, 15 seconds. The average time for all 8 speakers was 6 minutes, 58 seconds. The average time for the 3 winners' speeches was 6 minutes, 55 seconds. The title matters. Generally speaking, the titles are short. And I've seen sometimes the speakers think it's a clever idea to have a long title, like the thesis, first sentence of an essay. This time, the range of titles was 1 word to 5 words. The average for all 8 speakers was 3.1 words. The average for the 3 winning speeches, the title, was 3 words. Now I can see DTM Talha on the screen. DTM Talha, are you wondering what I'm doing with holding this prop?
Yes, certainly.
Okay, the reason I'm holding this is to make a point. Some of the speakers in the World Championship use props. If you're familiar with the game of tennis, you may have heard the terms forced error and unforced error. Forced error is when you make a mistake because your opponent did something too well. And unforced error is when you make a mistake on your own and it has nothing to do with your opponent. And in a few minutes, I'll talk about the props that the speakers used and whether that was a forced error or unforced error, or whether that prop was appropriate. You may have noticed if you saw the World Championship that the background on the stage was royal blue. So when the speakers dress up, they have to dress up accordingly, meaning that you do not want to blend in with your background. The first speaker was Anastasia Palacios. The title of her speech was Switcher. She was wearing very bright. In my personal view, the color was too bright. Green was fine, but it should have been a different shade of green. And the reason is the speaker must not distract from their message, from their speech. If I appear before an audience and I have several chains, gold chains around my neck, and they have nothing to do with my speech, audience is going to wonder why I'm wearing those. That's why it's important to dress accordingly, appropriately. Now, here's the unforced error. She opened by saying, I am speaker 1. Hey, you don't have to tell us because you were introduced as contestant number 1. Everyone in the audience knew you were number 1. So why tell us you are speaker number 1? Then she goes on to say, today is the Toastmasters convention's last day. Again, everyone in the room knew that it was the last day of the convention. So why are you telling us? It's okay if you want to tell us if it has something to do with the speech. It had nothing to do with the speech. It was just a filler. And that distracts because it was 40 seconds into a speech before he actually started her speech. Then she had a prop, a lemonade stand. Towards the end, she brings out a lemon to show that if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. There was no need to have the lemonade stand throughout the speech. She also had the title of her speech, Switcher, written on there. And here's where she thought that it is a nice idea to have audience involvement. That's a nice idea, but you do not want to force that involvement. She says, when I point to this title, you say switcher. So she points it to it and everybody says switcher. That's good, but that's not impressive. So then she goes on to talk about her father talking and said, my dream is to become a professional speaker. That's also lame. Most Toastmasters want to become professional speakers. But if you want to get some laughter, you want to have a greater impact, say, hey, my dream is to become an Amazon truck delivery driver. And people will laugh and then go on to tell us why you want to be a truck delivery truck driver. Instead of saying, oh, I want to be a professional speaker dream. That's not good. And also when sometimes speakers in the speech say, oh, I dreamed of being on the stage in the World Championship and I've made it. That's not nice. We know you have made it. There's no need to rub it in. The ones who did not make it to tell us that you are so great, you made it. speech should come from the heart, and it should change minds and win hearts. So some people might think, hey, that was a great speech. In my personal opinion, that was not a winning speech. Second speaker was Mariam Ghani. Her title was, You Have No Idea. And she immediately began into her speech. She only had 2 characters, very good. You don't need too many characters in a 5 to 7 minute speech. Her father and herself. She had a lot of vocal variety. There were times when she mentioned her title, You Have No Idea. At times she whispered, You have no idea. And she ended her speech by saying, You have no idea. And I liked the statement when he said, I may have lost my sight, but my father gave me insight. She had movement, vocal variety, some humor. Her speech was, she was wanting to leave her home. She couldn't wait to get away from her father and the family. And then in the end, she brings it where she can. She's back home. Great speech. Now, if you have experience watching contest speeches, you can always tell who might win. The order is different. Who's going to be first, who's going to be second, depends on the judges. Judges are different each year. The third was Jocelyn Tyson. Have you been there? She used her experience as a triathlon athlete. That allowed her to use a lot of vocal variety, fast pace, and also a lot of body language and gestures. She talked about triathlon. She opened by saying, summer of 2021, I wanted to skip the party and do something different. I decided to try it. Enter triathlon. She immediately entered into her speech. And then she talks about triathlon, which is swimming first, then cycling 12 miles, then running. And she talks about the heartaches, the hardships, trying to, and acts out how difficult it is. And she was heavily breathing to show that she's actually racing. And then towards the end, she brings in her message. And then closes it, I've been there. Have you been? Now, I've read a lot of comments about her speech. In some years, she may not have won the championship because people say, hey, that's acting, not speaking. But she made good use of the stage. If her speech was online, that speech would not work. But since she was on the stage, she used it all the way, racing, bicycling, going backwards, or swimming, and while the audience is laughing, she had a lot of humor. Humor is not a requirement in the judging form. There are no extra points for humor, but it impacts the audience and the judges when the speaker gets a lot of response from the audience through laughter. The fourth was Sylvia Davis, Get Off the Beach. She's the one about becoming a professional speaker, not good. In her semifinal speech, she talked about turtles. After they're hatched, they have a challenge trying to get to the water. She even named the 3 turtles in her speech. If you have used turtles as an analogy in your championship speech, which is different, you can talk about it. There's nothing, no harm, but it's best not to use anything that you have said in your semifinal speech, because then it appears, hey, your speech is very similar. She again talks about the turtle having challenges to get to the water. That was not the right thing to do. I would call that an unforced error. No one asked her to do it. She should have found a different way of bringing the topic of their challenges in life from going from point A to point B. The fifth was Mark Williams, Love You for Free. His dress was appropriate, but when he came on stage, I noticed something different. Now, some of you are wondering, why am I mentioning the dress? You see, the timing of the speech starts when the speaker utters their first word or when they use a gesture to indicate that they have started the speech. But the judging does not start when the speaker says their first word. Judging immediately starts when the speaker is introduced and they walk onto the stage. How they walk, where they stand, do they pause, look at the audience, make eye contact, smile, and then start their speech. Notice what he was wearing was tennis shoes. You don't wear tennis shoes to a contest, especially a world championship. Most of the tennis shoes these days have white trim, even if they're of different color. So the white trim makes the tennis shoe stand out. Then everybody notices, hey, why is he wearing tennis shoes? You're wondering if he's going to run on the stage. So if he were to use a tennis shoe, he needed tennis shoes that did not have a white trim so that the shoe blends in with his pants. In a speech about love for free, it's a very lame. It was not strong enough trying to say, oh, just say I love you and say also do something to say I love you. There are a lot of material on I love you. And he mentioned that in his speech, the 5 languages of love. And he gave some examples about a girl in his 4th grade or 4th class. Then here's where he makes a forced error. Many speakers now try to get the audience involved, ask the audience to do something. In his case, he asked the audience towards the ending, please stand. And he makes them stand. People are sitting down, relaxed. They're listening to the speech. They're looking at the speaker. You are now telling them, oh, okay, get up. And then you have to pause for a few seconds to give them time to stand up. And then he says, now lock your hands with the person on your left and right. See, that is okay if you are doing a training session where the trainer says, stand up, shake, loosen up. And it's okay also, some motivational speakers who charge $999 for a weekend seminar. In that case, they make the audience stand and they say, look to the person on your left, look to the person on your right. And say, oh, you are beautiful, but not in a 5 to 7 minutes world championship speech. You're locking. If you're telling me to lock my hands or just hold my hands, there's a female standing next to me. She might not want to hold my hand or lock her hands with my hands. Or I may not want to lock my hands with her. So don't do that. He could have just ended with his message, looking at the audience. So when he finished speech, you knew the speech was not strong. And the ending was very, very poor. Speaker number 6, Nisha Shivram, swipe. She had a nice dress, nice smile. She had a good message. But I noticed that she was wearing Indian garment. When she started speaking, you could tell English is not her first language. But people can hear you and they know that English is not your first language. In that case, you want to dress like everybody else. You don't want to put on a garment that tells people, hey, I'm different. I'm not someone who speaks English well. So there's no need to draw attention by your garments if that garment or your suit is not part of this speech. She used credit card as a prop, and that was appropriate because she was talking about swiping, running the credit card. She brought it out once and then put it back in the pocket. Many times, at least 6 times, she called swipe, swipe, swipe. But she didn't take out the card each time. There was no need to. People knew what she meant when she said swipe. She had some moments of where she could have used better gestures, body language. like with the lady she talks about in London having to, take her to from shop to shop or whatever. She could have said, I'm dragging her. Whew. More action, even though she had some gestures, but she could have used more gestures to stand out from the rest. Then when she finished her speech, she ended with the last word, swipe. And she used the motion, and she also said the word swipe. Since she had used that word more than 6 times during the speech, last time when she ended the speech, she did not need to say that. All she had to do was just use the motion, and the audience would had known that she means swipe. The 7th speaker was James Harris Jr. The way through is breakthrough. I would have liked to see the title simply Breakthrough. He also had a prop when he started his speech, a table with a sign said, now, N-O-W. He started by saying caterpillar. Caterpillar does not know that it's going to turn into a beautiful butterfly. That's not realistic. How many caterpillars you know who came to you and said, hey, man, I'm not going to be beautiful. And you said, no, oh, you're going to be beautiful like a butterfly. No, you can say yourself that, hey, I was like a caterpillar, ugly, closed in a cocoon. I didn't know I was going to be beautiful. But you cannot say caterpillars because you don't know what the caterpillar is thinking. So that's not realistic. Then few times when he mentioned caterpillar, he used the motion of walking like a caterpillar. Nah, if you wanted to do the caterpillar, he should have gone down on the stage and then crawl, because caterpillars don't walk, caterpillars crawl. So he should have crawled and people would have laughed. So the analogy was not good in his speech. And 2 times he said something and then he looked at the audience and said, write that down. Never, never, ever do that. If you're a teacher, that's fine. You tell the students, hey, this is important. It's going to be on the exam. Write it down. But in a world champion speech, you do not tell the audience to write it down. People want to listen to you. They don't want to be writing down your message. You can email it to them afterwards. And then now had nothing to do with it. He said, no, no, no. So then he said, now has no. And I said, what do you do with the W? Then he said, oh, W stands for win. Now, N-O-W, if you turn it around, it becomes W-O-N-1. And he didn't mention that. But if you're going to mention it and you have the props, you got to turn it around. He didn't turn it around because he thought he was running out of time and there was no need to. So in my view, he thought he needed a prop. No, he should not have the prop. That was all useless. And Caterpillar story did not go too well. And he didn't have any personal story, except one time he said, oh, I teach my students, on public speaking. Nah, that was also a useless story. His story should have been about him, not about caterpillars and butterflies. And here comes the last speaker. 8, Pamela, you matter. Her speech was about trying to kill herself, suicide. Suicide is a negative thing. It is not positive. And it was very slow moving speech. And then going to the church. She was the only one online. And she made the mistake of putting on a dress that was almost see-through. And when she turned, you could see the bra. Now people, male judges, they're looking, is that a sports bra or is that a cross your heart bra? No, you should dress so that nothing shows, the garment should not be showing. It was a great contest. That's what I've mentioned to is my personal opinion. Take it or leave it. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Ras, sir, for that wonderful, wonderful speech. GQ, sir, what is the strangest thing you ever found on ground?
On the ground?
Yeah.
Never observed.
Really, you never found any money? Like money? You didn't got lucky like 5,000 rupees you found on the ground and you feel lucky, like that kind of thing?
Once I did find 500 rupees. It was there, but I just found it and I kept it over there only. I didn't pick it up.
Okay, okay, okay. The fact is, I'm going to play a game with all of you. I'm going to ask you random questions and you have to answer it very quick because I know that you guys fall asleep during the speeches. So I have to make it exciting for you and kind of memorable. So I'm going to announce our next speaker. TM Balaram is going to give a speech.
Yeah, I think we should have,
Should have
spare
the
5
cake
minutes
cutting
for the cake cutting.
Of
sir.
course, the cake cutting ceremony for our lovely TM Anam Kadri, and I would love to have her on the stage.
Can anyone connect from?
Connect from mobile.
Okay, I'll do it.
Now it's your movement. Eight. There is a
वो वाला बंद
Okay,
कर
what? I believe all and ask her to clap. Because we are the one.
माइक कौन सा बोल रहा है
ये रहा माइक
I think ये वाला
कैमरा तो ये रहा
यार keep it there.
लेकिन अगर मैं बोलूंगी तो एको
Okay.
होगा कहाँ से म्यूट करा नहीं वहां से स्पीकर बंद कर हाँ ये भी सही है Hope you can hear me now. भैया आ जाए सब बातें खत्म कर दे मीटिंग भी कंटिन्यू करनी है उसके बाद
Please a picture with Anam Kadri.
हाँ yes.
Please a picture.
No, I'm not giving you the
God's
right. But just stand by me. We
Saad,
celebrate
please
together.
please let us see
इधर
you
जाओ
in
ना लोग
front
आपको
of the
वहां से
camera.
देख रहे हैं आप लोग इधर आए ना कैमरामैन बाकी सब पीछे खड़े हो जाए नहीं नहीं इधर
We can't see Anam Kadri's face. Please,
किसको देखना है?
please request her. Request her.
नहीं रुके, wait, Toastmaster Asghar is saying something. क्या कह रहे हैं Toastmaster Asghar?
We can't see the people, the one who is supposed to cut the cake. So please, yes, now it's better. But now, what about the cake? We want to see both of them, the cake and the person.
Talha, आप
Now
cameraman,
now
आपके
it's
सामने
better.
खड़े रहना। बल्कि I think we can ask someone else to be the cameraman. You can stand beside your wife. नहीं, तुम्हारा ऐसे नहीं हो सकता। हाँ, अब बस very good. अली भाई लेंगे ना picture, सब आ जाते हैं।
ये एक्टिव
ये भी एक्टिव है। आप सही है ना?
आप आ रहे हैं सब आ रहे हैं क्या?
Yes, सब आ रहे हैं। सब आ रहे हैं। Winning speech. Winning speech on the stage.
Winning speech on the stage. Yes.
Yes, हाँ भाई क्या ये कैसे क्या देखनी है मैं? अरे भाई winning speech का मतलब अभी toast हाँ.
Not that speech.
तो we can do it on the main ताकि सबको आवाज चली जाए. अब घुमा दे.
क्या हुआ?
नहीं कुछ नहीं हुआ. और अब माइक वाइक भी वहीं का खोल दें. मैं अपना बंद कर देती हूँ. ये वाला माइक खोलना है, वो वाला माइक खोलना है. स्पीच होने लगी है, होने लगी. डोंट वरी.
वहां से हो गया.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone, for a great celebration. Although I am trying my best to hold my tears and to hold my emotions at the moment, with all the love and all the expressions that everyone is showing right now. Frankly speaking, I'm not used to so much love, but yes, so sorry for that. Well, to put it that way, a win is never individual. There is always somebody behind it, whether you attribute it to your husband, to your family, to someone who pushes you to join the Toastmasters Club, or to your friends. But generally, or your VP, yes. But generally, everybody is behind that win. It's never something that you alone can do. Everything has a part some way or the other, be it evaluators, be it someone who pushes you in delivering the project, be it someone who presents you with the ideas to give the speech there. And thank you so much, everyone. We all have won this year. We all will win in the coming years. We'll continue doing it together. And thank you for the love. Congratulations again, the team Anam Kadri. Next, I would like to call Mufadil Murtuza, TM Mufadil Murtuza, for his speech. Mufaddal, sorry. Mufaddal Murtaza. It's a very lovely name, by the way. So, no, he's first.
Okay.
Everyone, please welcome Mr. Mufaddal.
Who is that?
Wait. 5, 4, 3, 2. It was 14th of Feb in 2016. I called my wife, "Hey honey, what are you doing?" With a very grossed tone, she said, "I'm cooking." For the reason I had not wished her Valentine at that moment. She got more cranky when I said that I'll be late from the office for the reason I have to do some groceries. And by the time when I come back home, please come down to help me with the handbags, which I bring from the grocery store. The moment I reached my home and she came down, she screamed aloud, not for the reason that I didn't bring the flowers for her, but for the reason that I bought my first love, my first car on that day. My first car was Mehraj 2005 model, a very crispy bumper to bumper genuine car. And I really loved it for the reason that I saved for a very long time by the time I bought that car. She screamed and she told, "Mama, come down. See what he has bought." My mama came down and she had tears in her eyes. I have very lovely moments and memories with my car. We were in Rawalpindi by that time. And as a new driver, I was very curious to go on a long drive. I was just waiting for the Eid al-Adha holidays so that I can plan something for a long drive, and finally the day came. I had planned to go to Kalam. Before going to Kalam, I wanted to test myself. So I went with my friend to a drive to Munal. I guess some of might have gone to Munal and might have seen how difficult it is, how curved paths are there, and people say that if you drive to Munal, you can drive anywhere. Eventually, I did it, and it was all successful, and I was all ready for the big day. We left one day before the Eid, and it was a holiday. So it went very smooth. We drove all the way to Bahrain, and we reached there almost in 6 hours. Bahrain is actually not the Bahrain we have internationally. Before Kalam, we also have a small city which is called Bahrain. After Bahrain to Kalam, it's only 30 kilometers. But trust me, it took 3 hours to reach over there due to the crushed road we had over there. It was my first love, and I was feeling the pain she was going through while I was driving it to the Kalam. It was a very wonderful trip. By the time when we were coming back to our house, the Eid holidays had started, the people had digested their goats and cows, and they were also heading towards the Kalam. So we got a lot of traffic, and we took additional 6 hours to reach our home. We had extensive thunderstorms, hailstorms while I was driving, and I was driving it for the first time. At some moments, it was so dark due to the rains that I was just following the tail lights of the other cars. And I was just trying to follow the way, and I took a way off due to the traffic into the village. I had no guest house where I could stay, and I had no options other than driving back home. And anyway, I reached home safely. After that, we had a couple of beautiful moments with that car. We went countless trips to Nathia Gali, to Gurban, and to everywhere. And then finally, a day came where our ways separated. I got a job offer to Karachi. My first love actually belonged to Abbottabad, and the number plate was from Abbottabad. So it was not a good idea to bring my car to Karachi. So I decided to sell it all. I remember the day I had tears in my eyes when I was signing the papers to give that car. I came back over here. I got a second love, but trust me, I still miss my first love. For the reason I have very beautiful memories with it. The thing this actually taught me, and the thought which came in my mind, and I thought to share it with you, that in life, there are many first loves associated with all of it. It can be a person, a partner, a child, a friend, a relative. They come in our lives for joys, and sometimes due to unwanted reasons, they just go away from us. Rather than regretting into those moments that it went away from us, we should cherish all those positive moments which it has given to us. My second love is taking a very good care of me. It has an air conditioning system in it. And it is all going beautiful, but I still cherish the moments which I had spent with my first love. So all in all, whenever life tells you to move on, just move on with your second things and don't stuck yourself in the first thing. That's all from my side. Over to you, Joseph.
Thank you, TM Mufaddil. That was really a good speech. Really glad to hear you for first time. Fahim, I want to ask you, why are we afraid of making mistakes and yet we learn from them?
Fear of failure, I guess.
Are you sure?
Well, that's what I feel. Always feel like, oh my God, what I'm going to fail. And maybe then you end up making mistakes because you're thinking consciously than or subconsciously.
Okay, thank you so much. Our next speaker is TM Belram. I would like to call on stage for his speech. Please welcome TM Belram.
Just give me a second. Yeah.
Parents are the ultimate role model for the children. For every words, moments, and action have an effect. No other person or outside other force influence on the child than the parent. Quoted by Guru Kesan. Hello, Toastmaster and dear guests. If you look at this picture, which speaks thousands of words, God has created this universe, and within it there is a beautiful planet. It's called Earth, and Earth is abundant with everything that needed for our life, like water, air, plant, animals, everything which exists on the earth. And these resources are had to help human and other living things for their survival and thrive. As per my perception, if you look at this picture, a man is planting a small plant, and his little son helping by watering it. As time passes, small plant grows, has grown into big and become the mature tree. Now one son has also grown into adult, married, and now become the father of one daughter. Now the father is sowing his daughter on the garden, on the same branches of the tree that was planted by her father for long year ago. The moral of this picture is just, if you are engage your children in positive actions, then definitely they will learn from you and they adopt some good habits, and these habits will lead them to success and keep them empowered, confident for their future endeavors. We just not have to limit our children's education and don't focus just on the particular subjects, maths, English, physics, science. If you understand that if your children are good enough in these subjects and then they become success, no. The child's success is not only about being a greater or good in the subjects or winning awards. What truly matters is that their attitudes, their behavior, their kindness with others. So it's our responsibility to train, to teach our children about ethics, morals, gratitude, which includes that truthfulness, sympathy, honesty, tolerance, and these all qualities contribute to making a good human in the society. Do you know in Japan, now Japan has changed the pattern, changed the education system. Now they started to teach their children from the young age. They just teach the ethical education, moral, humanity, gratitude. And you know that during the Second World War, when the atomic bomb was dropped on the two cities, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and that time the Japan was devastated. And some countries offered to support the Japan. But what Japan did for that time? Just requested from them to send a best teacher from the world. Just to able to rebuild the education system and to cultivate a well-rounded peoples. Even they surrender and they just decided not to rebel against the opposing nation. Now you can see the interest of Japan. So we have to realize that where we are standing, we should have to learn our children's what's the good and what's the bad, what's the right and what's the wrong, and so they may able to understand this world. I think if you are doing something good, then just to keep them with you, so may understand and learn from you. If you are doing anything good, then keep them with you. If you are going to plant a tree, then you just train them how to save this tree and how to get the fruit from these trees. If you orient your children, then sure they will appreciate the important things which our ancestors have said for them or to you.
Thank you, TM Balram, for that really powerful speech. Next, I'm going to call TM Rabia. TM Rabia, what is the best Wi-Fi name you ever heard?
The Wi-Fi at my house.
Oh,
Gabbar Singh? Seriously?
what's the name?
Gabbar Singh.
Not that.
Your husband. Is that, yeah, must be named by your husband. Yeah.
Next speaker.
The best one I heard is, it was a network that, old house. The Promised Land.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
creative. You can take ideas,
Yeah.
for your Wi-Fi passwords and everything. So the next speaker is, of course, me. I'm gonna give my speech today. And my speech is celebrating weirdness, and my evaluator is Mohammad Asghar. And let me start my speech.
Do I need to introduce the speaker formally?
Not in this meeting. It's not
Okay. Just
Not
go
a-
ahead because everything is in front of me. The speaker is requested to go ahead.
Thank you so much. It's not a conspiracy against you, but this is our standard mode for this meeting.
Thank you revealing it.
Ladies and gentlemen and fellow weirdos, hello to you all. Today, we are celebrating weirdness. What is weirdness? Weirdness is actually a trait, a quirk. It's inside of us. Like what I said before, it's natural. We all are weird and crazy and insane in one way or another. Now, if I say everybody's perfect or everybody's normal, they're not. Nobody is perfect. Everybody is born with an imperfectness. And for that, I'm going to say we should be weird. There is something inside of us that should be celebrated. Now, in living in a perfect world and having a perfect sculptures that you have to be, like you have to be this perfect person. In order to be this perfect, these are things just happen out of balance, because if you must know, Allah hasn't created perfect anyone. He has created imperfectly in order to live in a perfect world, and that is the beauty of it. So for what weirdness for me is that accepting your flaws, accepting your mistakes, whatever you do, having a little bit excitement in your life, actually. You are living in a very dull and a boring life. You go to office, then you come home. If you are husbands, then you see your wives. If you're wives, then you see your husbands. And if you're single people like me, well, we have no one.
You get to see everyone.
I get to see and for single people like me, you have to see your friends, or you have to see your mom and your brothers and sisters. So think about that, to have a little bit of an excitement in your life. It could be anything, any trait. Either it's wearing a mismatched socks, or wearing mismatched pins, or jewelry, or talking strangely, or having a strange accent, or doing a strange dance and having your own rhythm, and listening to a strange music and doing whatever the hell you want to do. I'm sorry for that word. But again, I'm saying you should be able to own yourself. You're not perfect. You were not born perfect. Whatever you are happy. You should own that happiness, because in this perfect world, we are striving to be perfect. We go and we just want to have everything perfect, aligned actually, but it's not aligned. The things come aligned when two imperfect souls come together and they make a perfect. So although we are strived, we are told that you do this and you do that and you break the barriers, but it's not like that. It's not easy to break the barriers. Of course, you need some strength, some courage for that. And for that, you need weirdos. You need supportive weirdos with you who have same mental capacity, who have the same, who can understand your insanity to this level that you tell them and they understand you, a bit telepathic. Afterwards, what I like to say that I like the smell of petrol. I love it. It's just so good. It's just so enhancing. Have you even smelled petrol?
Yeah.
I heard somewhere they say it's a deficiency in your body that you like petrol. I said, wow. I hate wearing heels. I'm wearing heels right now. I'm not comfortable. I hate wearing makeup. I love to run around. I love to play football. I love to play cricket. I love to dance. I love to have friends. I love to party. I love to have a life. I love to have weird conversation with people who are just like me. I want to have a deeper meaning of life. And to embrace that life, I have to be weird. I have to own myself. I'm not a perfect person. I can never be a perfect person. And for me to embrace that, that is what I want to do. For example, there are so many examples of like great artists and great musicians who are totally insane. There's John Lennon, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix. And then we have the amazing band called Beatles, which is my favorite, the Rolling Stones. And then we have these beautiful artists like Picasso and Van Gogh and there's so many artists who are just insane. They have put in the world into giving the world masterpieces because they were insane in some way. So in order to make a perfect world, you have to be insane. You have to make a life that should be imperfect. Also, I like to give beautiful, genuine comments to my lady friends. Hi, Heba. You look very nice. I mean, you look great. TM Anam Kadri, you are so beautiful. TM Tala is so lucky to have you. Yeah, but men don't get to have that privilege. I'm sorry if I do that, it will go in a wrong way. So. But still, you have to own yourself. You have to love yourself. And for loving yourself, you have to embrace that insanity, because what's better than having a little bit of weirdness in you? And what's better having a person who can accept the weird you are? So I'll end my speech for this, and thank you so much for listening to my speech. Thank you.
For the next speaker. The next speaker is next speaker is it's Toastmaster Latif Mansoor. Yeah. His evaluated Toastmaster.
Okay. Saad, what age do you prefer to live forever? Yeah. Jaldi. 40. Thank you. Our next Toastmaster is Toastmaster Latif. Our next Toastmaster is Toastmaster Latif. I would like to call him on the stage. And his evaluator is?
Toastmaster Irfan Faruqi.
Toastmaster
Irfan, you already have the project details, right?
What did Talha say?
You already have the project details, Toastmaster Irfan?
Yes, I have.
All right. So Toastmaster Latif can start with the speech. You just type the name of speech. Toastmaster Latif, can you see the timer window, which is Karachi Toastmasters Club hand raised? Can you see it? All right. So just announce the speaker name and time.
Our next Toastmaster is Toastmaster Latif. And his speech is "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." Good luck to you, sir.
You do many things which makes you perfect. Or in other words, you try to do many things which makes you somewhere closer to acceptance of your goal. But life is nothing if it's unpredictable. And similarly, this happens to each and every one of us in the room. We have all the expectations for good coming, but never are ready or prepared for the worst to come. challenges, and obstacles sometimes we feel are part and parcel of the work of life, but we don't accept it with graciously. I was reading an article where I found out something which was really related to me. I felt much of attached to that article, and that article was all about a smooth sea never made a skilled labor. With reading that article, I was just going across through life and obstacles I have felt. And then I realized that while I am doing this all vice versa, like from this age, looking at those obstacles, it's a life worth lived. Have I ever dreamt of this kind of life where I will be in obstacles and there are people who we say angels for us, who came at that very moment and rescued us? So if there is a rough sea, if there is a sea which has a lot of turbulence, then only you will find a skilled labor. Similarly, at your job, with your work, myself, I daily practice entering the field of my office with full of energy. And all of a sudden, I feel one obstacle, the other, and then the other. But that is our part and parcel, our work. Now, let me tell you very frankly, if you all live a life or job without any obstacles, will it be happier for you? Maybe you'll be feeling comfortable on your comfort zone. I just want to share an example. Few days back, a passenger called me and said, Latif, I am in trouble. I'm in Milan and unable to find any hotel. I'm with my family. Please get me an accommodation. I went to the search of our office, the availability. I looked and researched, is it convenient for him to be there, location wise? And is it good, a fabulous hotel by booking.com's rate? And that rating shows a good fabulous, which is 9. I gave him all this information. He accepted. Thank you. He appreciated. He paid for it. And then I slept. Around Fajr, when I woke up, I saw phone full of messages, and he is saying this hotel is disgusting, because I don't want to use that word, what he used it. This hotel is smelling stinky. And I said, I have already paid for the hotel. I cannot reimburse you. I'll try to upgrade it morning around 10:30. Give me a time. By the time the offices will open in Milan. He could not wait for that much time. He called me again and said, this is ridiculous. I am paid that much of amount. And how does it happen that I don't have that kind of a facility? He blamed my supplier. He blamed everyone, but except the person who has given him this option. I, being the sincere, I said, please don't blame my supplier. Please don't blame the hotel. It is me who suggested you, and you had looked at the website also, and you felt it is good for your family. I tried to calm down that, but it didn't happen. He anxiously waited for that 10 a.m. Luckily, that clock struck 10. Milan time, it was 9. I called my supplier. I said, please help me out on this. They said, we can give an upgrade, but we cannot sure that he will like the room. Please offer. He went down, he looked at the area, the room which was upgraded to offered for the upgrade. He did not feel comfortable. He did not feel to say thanks also, and went for shopping. I, which has an experience of 20 years, I knew it, that he did not go for shopping. He went to look the hotels around and the budget matching his pocket. I was very confident that I have given the best option available. He finally turned back at 4 p.m. Asked the hotel to hold the room. I will take it. I said, you have to be there in 1 hour time just to get that avail. If not, it is always there for last minute sale. That showed me that I was very confident of what I have booked, offered, and terms and condition. So though he was loud, the obstacles were very rough, I was ready to sail it smoothly. He tried many times to get me say, I will refund you. But my words were, I can't promise I can refund. Friends, while having those situations in life, I've noticed that there are few things which has to be attached to making those decisions. And what are those decisions? Sometimes it is not easy at home also. When your kids are asking for some fine dining restaurants and you feel comfortable having biryani with hands. Where your wife asks you to dress for the occasion and you feel, why should I dress for the occasion? I am what I am. And life is certainly like this. If you are with me and maybe in a similar situation, my son has a tagline now added to his file on his phone, Niklo yahan se. Let's go out of Pakistan. I, being the old dad of 50 years plus, feel Pakistan is the only place where I can live the rest of my life. Because I don't want now a life again starting at a petrol station or maybe at a small job where I will be again calling them, good afternoon, sir. Good evening. How can I help you? Life needs some rest. And this brings me to a person who is always good to ungrateful people. Trust me, this ungrateful people will always ask an expectations. And maybe at times you are delivering your best, but that is not of what they are expecting. Friends, what I felt is, if you have given your best, then you should not look for what is the result or what is the outcome. You should be satisfied of what you have it. I might not be the best dad for my son. I might not be a romantic hubby for my wife. I might be self, or might be saying in Kareena Kapoor's word, I am my own favorite. You will not believe, people and life are always expecting amazing best. But I at this stage of all those experience, feel it is time to give your best, but expect the worst thing to happen. While having those things, I realized and I felt for this particular project, while giving it to willing it to this distinguished audience, I should prepare a PowerPoint presentation. But as I said, I am what I am, and I failed. And backup was not my opinion. In my option books for backup was not there. Like, okay, I'll go for next Wednesday. Because I don't know who will ask me that he wants a hotel in London. A 3-star hotel will work. But while staying there, he feel, no, this is disgusting. Friends, this is what I feel we all should practice. I have practiced my expertise in my field. I am a travel agent. I give best options in my life to customers or advice to my senior or my colleagues who are working under me. You should be aware of the situation. Now, while being aware of the situation is not of what the others are expecting, what is your goal? What is your final achievement of giving it? As I said, while making those decisions, I feel a personal goal, which you know that you can give it, you can deliver, is all worthy. Now, what is the obstacles in my way or coming across making those decisions? You should be aware of those things. Now, this is very important, and that connects me to next coming loop. Is there an obvious solution for the challenges you have? As I said, or I'll take you back to those examples of mine. I don't wanted to tell him that I will refund you the money because I have already paid to the hotel. So there is no obvious solution for this. Brings me to the second, and that was the creativity. A creativity comes when you don't have obvious solutions. Your ideas are clear. You are awakened that everything you have checked. But thinking outside the box was an option. So similarly, I just went with the same passenger, giving him options according to his preference. I gave him an option of 5-star with swimming pool, luxury, delicious breakfast. I did some buttering to that. He did not like it. And fellow audience, you will not believe why. Just because it is too expensive. I already have given you the conclusion what he went and came to me. But I did not end up what he finally got it. Now, consider yourself in the same position where he does not want to pay and you don't want to return him that money. These online agents of our expertise, which we know, like for example, in Pakistan, it is sastaticket.com, PK, or sastaticket.pk website. Similarly, there are many websites which clearly mention it is non-refundable. We have clients who go through that website, book, and say, oh, I booked the wrong date. But they don't realize when they do a mistake. So the best way to be a creative person is, and many of the management people have already taught this, look at the look at the situation from the balcony view or from the aerial view. Why? Because you will see all the ground realities. This was my second way to look at things. My main thing was, or my main objective, to make you a skilled labor is practice learning no. If you have given your best. Third, which is also very important, and that connects me to say no, is you should have courage. Courage to tell your wife that I will not match your suit. I will not match my tie of what color you are wearing. It does not matter for me if I wear a jeans or a t-shirt to a wedding. I must admire Toastmaster Fahim Razak, who always stands up of pretending that he is the best. He has that skilled, and he always come casual. Now, life frequency offers us many opportunities. These opportunities are many times asking you to go out of your comfort zone, which I feel you should try once. But with all my experience, you should believe in yourself. You should not go above your expectations. Why? Because that's bring me to my next and very important. You should anticipate of what is coming next. Similarly, if you have started a web series and you feel like, चल एक दफा और एक और देख लेते हैं, and that episode never ends until your eyes start burning, because they keep you on the edge right at the time when this black comes screen. Your goals, your path, your values, your family, your responsibilities are all to this level that you have to give your best. But you should not sacrifice yourself for any unwanted challenges. You should be good at anticipating of what is next. Create some strategies to overcome those obstacles where you feel that life is all but yours. Your goals are of you. If you are healthy, of personally speaking, if you live on a life like what I live, currently I am married, but I live bachelor in Kuwait. That does not give me a license to use it to the other way around. For example, if someone is saying I'm single and I'm ready to mingle, but it gives me a license of think more of obstacles, because when you are alone, if you are not healthy, there is no one else in the room to help or to cure your suffering. I would like to end while saying what happened to my passenger. He eventually ran to the hotel, asked for the same room what was offered, the modern, connected, upgraded room, and my hotel staff said, "Sorry, sir, you have to wait for another night as someone else has checked in." I felt good because I offered him everything. He didn't felt good because he did not treat me well. Now, I don't mind if he goes to Google and say, Jumbo Travel staff Latif did not give me or lived to his expectations, but satisfied I am because I put it to my managers, informed that he went, he did not take it what he was about to receive. Friends, I would love to end my story saying, if you have given your best, don't hold yourself. Throw it off. In simple words, speak loud, stay weird, be to the people you are, but always give your best. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, PM Latif, for that lovely speech. I learned a lot from that speech. So, Sir Abid, I want to ask you, how many sheep do you count before sleeping?
In fact,
How many currencies do you? That's the question came from Imran, sir.
I am in the investing business in the stock market, so all the time the market goes up and down. So before sleeping, definitely the mind is occupied with this class.
Okay, that's a good answer. I would like to call PM Asghar for his speech, and his evaluator will be Hiba, TM Hiba. Is TM Asghar online?
Yes, Toastmaster Asghar, can you see the timer window? We can tell you, you're muted. Sorry. You're muted, sir.
He's muted.
I can't see you, but not the timer.
No, yeah, that's the same thing. My window is the timer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Toastmaster Asghar, the floor is yours. Good luck to you.
And I surely disqualify you.
If I had $1 left, I would spend it on public relation. Mr. President, dear Toastmasters, and guest if there is any. It was not off-the-cuff remarks by any Tom, Dick, and T.M. Asghar. This saying is attributed to Bill Gates. But what is PR? PR strategy laid down and fine-tuned for corporate culture to reach greater number of people for greater benefit, if I'm not wrong. But everyone is using it at every level according to his or her long and short-term objectives. Now, being a government servant, my public relation strategy defy commonly practiced PR of a typical corporate culture and mostly revolve around how to tame my ambivalent senior colleagues and convince them to do my bidding in return of their personal promotion. I may be playing Russian roulette, but what I'm doing so far is successful. Now, I don't know what this eerily and twisted strategy will ultimately entail for me. Dear Toastmasters, public sector or government sector is a Machiavellian world, littered with semi-truth, partial facts, and sometimes outright lies. It also involves uncomfortable compromises, but there is no getting away from it. All you need is to be as cunning as fox. And if you try to be as straight as an arrow, then keeping your boss will be an hard act to follow. So if you try to transfer from one government department to another government department, believe me, you are merely jumping out of a frying pan into the fire. Because there is no paragon of virtue there. To borrow a thought-provoking soliloquy of Hamlet, to be or not to be, that is the question. So here is my strategy to promote my PR and my culture. The most important skill is communication. And that is exactly where this organization, Toastmaster Club, came to my rescue. I try to speak less to the point, try to be the most interesting person in the room with sparing humor during conversation. Secondly, in public sector, things will not evolve from the collective wisdom as conventionally thought. Mostly they are what the bosses want. So I try to be what PR expert called client-oriented. If your boss or your client, you don't need to carve a new path, no matter how innovative and intelligent you are. What is required is to be fit in a system given by your baleful bosses. Now, never try to show your talent in front of them. I did once in my enthusiastic initial service years and even got a pat on my back. But that was a flash in the pan and proved to be counterproductive. Now I am a case of once beaten, twice shy. Lastly, to be a successful PR professional, you must be able to use social media efficiently. Now, DTM Tala knows that I am a slow learner when it comes to the technology. What it doesn't know is that I take shortcut. So I hired young, energetic social media geek to upload messages and pictures of those higher-ups who are obsessive being seen every day themselves in social media. Believe me, when they see themselves, they behave like a dog with two tails. Sometimes I received thank you note as early as 3 a.m. in the morning. Now, let me rephrase what once our Darwin says. It is not the powerful and the intelligent who survives, but the one who knows how to adopt or fit in a system. I couldn't agree more, especially when it comes to developing your PR in government sector. Toastmaster of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Toastmaster buses. Yeah, but it's
Okay, Toastmaster Mufaddal. ATM machine. If time is money, do you think ATM machine, if time is money, do you think ATM machine is a time machine? You didn't understand. Should I repeat it?
No,
If time is money, do you think ATM machine is a money? If time is money, then ATM machine is a time machine. Yeah.
No, now I get it in my head.
You have to answer very fast.
I wish I could put hand. So I would have taken always in the back time and I would have taken my old money back.
Okay. Next is.
And the dollar was at 120, huh?
Next is TM. Next is TM Wase Ahmed presenting a speech. Fight, fall, learn, and come back. And his evaluator TM Anam Kadri. Over to you, Wase.
Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, Wase, can you see the timer window?
Yes, I can. It's not spotlighted, but you have raised the hand, so it's fine. It's coming on the top. So I guess it's fine.
You are very much audible.
Are we good to go?
Yes, you are.
Start, right?
Good to go.
Okay. When I sat down to write about my pathway, dynamic leadership experience, one of the most famous and intellectual quote of my country overtook my mind. Can you guess? Look back. Now I have to do what I once made fun of. We never took little Emma Chia's word seriously. But when Toastmasters International said the same thing to me, now I'm trying to take it seriously and delivering this project, reflecting on the past. I became acquainted with Toastmasters in 2021 when Zaid Kalia and Sajid Kapadia, my then teacher, gave me a lead to it. Today, many people ask me, why KTC? And I give them an analytical answer that KTC has broad base of members. We find entrepreneurs, accountants, homemakers, philanthropists, and people from every different walk of life. It is like a bouquet of different flowers bound together. But in reality, I came into KTC because it was the first to be found on Facebook search. I never explored other options. I took my first demo meeting in December 21. From there, it took me 3 months and some persuasion of yours truly to become a member and to deliver my first icebreaker. Delivering my icebreaker was a humongous job, as it is for everyone. So it was online, but I rehearsed it around 8 or 9 times. That is definitely more than what I do now. Again, like nothing to be proud of. However, in the icebreaker, my heartbeat reached the skies. It went around 160 beats per minute, 160 beats per minute. And later I realized that even when I exercise it, it really does not even get near to that. To any guest attending this meeting right now, the icebreaker is the most difficult meeting, the most difficult speech you will ever give. But the sense of achievement after it will take you over the moon. It will make you high. No, don't judge me on that. I'm an innocent person. Reviewing my first 5 speeches, which I covered in a span of 4 months, it had an element of both fear and perfection. Fear is definitely about not screwing it up in front of everyone. And the want for perfection meant that I wanted all my speeches to be best. The learning I got here was that at times waiting for perfection is the hurdle of progress, is the hurdle of progress. The level 1 speeches are generally aimed at getting acquainted with the delivery of speeches. Topics are really not defined. I now realize that they are the best time to get to know your strengths and to find your passions. My third speech of level 1, gratitude is the best attitude, will always have a special place in my heart because it was my first fictional story. And the most important thing was DTM Sir Raj Naveed himself praised me. He was not my evaluator, but still he praised me for my vocal variety and body language. Next, the second level taught me about different types of leadership styles, communication styles, and mentoring. Leadership style depends upon the situation you are tackling and the type of situations you are leading. Communication style taught me about engaging with different type of people. For example, direct me people must be dealt with logic, initiating and supporting communicators with emotion, and analytical communicators with numbers. Lastly, project on mentorship taught me that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I still don't understand how did Siddhartha Gautama reach to this quote, but still I used it in my speech. The third level of the following topic, the third level had the following topics to deal: negotiation styles, active listening, and storytelling. Collaboration, compromise, competitive, and accommodation. All these negotiation styles depends on interest and relationships at stake. For example, our dear VPE accommodated me today even after having a loaded roast. I guess relationships and interests are at high stakes. However, playing the salesman and talking with my mother will remain the highlight of this project. Active listening was quite uncomfortable because the theme given to me was Game of Thrones. Because as we all know, it is a family show and everybody can watch it, but one person at a and it was a privilege for me that when I attempted the storytelling project in which I was telling everyone how reckless can I get while giving an interview, it was evaluated by none other than our champ herself. Always a treat to listen to her speeches, and nothing can be better than learning from the best. Level 4 of dynamic leadership had one of the three most difficult projects I have delivered yet: managing a difficult audience. It felt like I was left in the jungle with quite wild animals. However, the first attempt meant that this man was not good enough versus the wild. As a result, as a result, I made another attempt, and this time, peacefully, I was able to strike the peace treaty with the herd. Last and not the least, level 5 of dynamic leadership had a keynote speech, which made me realize that still there is a long way to go. Long way to go does not really mean that we have not started yet. It means that we are yet to experience many milestones. We are yet to cherish many improvements. It took me 9 months to deliver my first 8 projects. However, my remaining 9 projects are being completed in just 12 weeks, which means that almost every week I took a step towards my mysterious destination. However, this feat was triggered because of a plunge in my Toastmasters journey, or an airy turn in my Toastmasters journey, which came just after December 22. Due to some personal reasons, I felt that things around me were falling apart. So did my confidence, and a bit of hairline. Staying down is never an option. I had to come back. Before proving anything to anybody, I had to prove myself to me. It was never me against anybody. It was about me gaining back my self-esteem so I can stare into the mirror in my own eyes, maybe smile at myself. Throughout this journey, I met some of the most incredible people I have ever met. If I go on to taking on names, I might miss someone, which would not be a good idea, of course. However, there is an individual that stands apart from everyone. My mentor, Toastmaster Urusa. Whenever I have disturbed her, she was always there to help me out. Especially in crafting the speech, we always used to discuss whether a certain idea would work or not. Whether, without even a speck of doubt, if my speech crafting has improved, it is all due to her. It was around 4 a.m. while I was writing this speech. August 22 was the date. I was sitting down in the waiting area of a hospital. I do wonder that do I really need to do it right now? Is it necessary to still keep walking? But this is also something that I have learned from Toastmasters journey, that every phase of life brings it with new lessons. I can either close my eyes and wait for the tough times to pass by, or embrace what is in front of me. Fight, fall, learn, and come back stronger than before. Toastmaster of the day.
That's kindly waiting for half of this.
Congratulations to Asif and congratulations for delivering an excellent speech. Next, I'm going to ask TM Tala, what is the weirdest dream you ever had?
He will not tell you.
No?
Yeah, so the weirdest dream that I had was that I was in a, well, where to even start, like, so many.
You can start anywhere, but you have to keep it short because you said that.
Oh, all right. So the weirdest dream that I had was that I was in another country having another skin color and speaking a different language
You hearing
and,
this?
and having an entirely different family. And after spending the whole life that way, I was scolding my 13-year-old daughter, a white daughter, 13-year-old, for staying out too late before I woke up.
She
And
is like,
yeah, she knows about that.
okay,
Yeah. She will ask you about this.
You will have to
later.
return the cake.
Next, I would like to call TM Imran Rana for his speech. For his speech, make your move, and his evaluator is GM Ghulam Qadir.
Yeah.
Okay, Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir, I would like to make a request.
That's a completely illegal request. VP education. is not
Okay,
allowing it.
you have to be flexible. If my speech goes well, then you evaluate it as per project number 3. If not, then evaluate it as the first speech of evaluation and feedback.
That's not allowed.
2 project objectives.
Level 3. Yeah.
Level 3, level 1. That's the beauty of doing 2 pathways at the same time. Just a minute. Just.
All right.
Okay, ready. Have you ever been caught red-handed behind the curtains? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, when I was a small child, I was blessed with a beautiful voice. Look who's talking. And all my brothers used to call me, hey, look at him. He looks like a crow, but sings like a nightingale. A perfect combination of imperfect. what my brothers didn't know that I love to. Dance as well. I always had an inner Michael Jackson who loved to make the moves to the beat. However, I was afraid to dance in front of the audience, and I still do. Look who's talking. I feared that people might judge me or make fun of me, and as a result, I never lived my life to the fullest. In older days, I remember attending one of my cousin's wedding. The days leading up to the wedding were filled with fun, laughter, music, and of course, a lot of relatives whom you have never seen them in your entire life. On one day, one of my cousins, while playing a music in a loud voice, my inner MJ started calling out me. Rana, Rana, let's dance. I started searching for a place where I could fulfill my desire. And I found a spot covered with curtains. I covered myself with long white curtains and started dancing. Lost in the rhythm of the music, I forgot to realize that I was not in a no man's land. Someone was watching. Suddenly, one of my brothers appeared from nowhere and he caught me red-handed. From that day onward, all my cousins and brothers teased me. And as a result, I lost the urge of dancing. Despite this, I have come to realize that our instincts never truly leave us. They disappeared for some times, but they again re-emerge. A year ago, I stumbled upon a YouTube video, and it was about how to dance a moonwalk. I was surprised by how captivating that dance move was. It persuaded me to learn the moonwalk. I made several attempts and I failed. However, I did not let my failure to deter me. I committed myself to learn the moonwalk and to fulfill my inner desire. I watched the video carefully multiple times and searched for a place where I could do practice. I found a spot in my office, the long corridors, and even in the washroom area, and practice whenever I had free time. The only condition was I made sure that no one was watching. Initially, I was practicing the wrong move and kept doing it until I became good at it. Sometimes we learn something only to relearn it, only to unlearn it, and relearn it all over again. And relearn it all over again. Although this is quite a hectic and a difficult task, but with consistency and practice, we can achieve whatever we want. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, after several hours of practice, I can surely say that I learned the moonwalk. While not like a pro, but I can say that I am now a moonwalker. And I can enjoy dancing moonwalk whenever and wherever I want to. The only condition is that no one is present at that point in time. That moonwalk made me realize that you are never too old to learn new things, or it is never too late to complete something that was started earlier. All you need is consistency and commitment. So never give up learning new things, and never stop learning. With some practice, you can achieve anything, whatever you want to. So make your move. And before you know it, you will be walking on the moon. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you all for your lovely speeches, all the Toastmasters. TM Kala, have they qualified?
Yes, all have got.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask the vote counter for the votes. Have you given the votes? Everyone can vote. Please vote. Kindly vote
Can vote
via the Google form, and the online they can vote through the Zoom. Okay. Team Imran, if you could turn into a food, what would it be? It's as simple as that. Next, I'm going to call the table topic master. Saad, please come over and kindly pick your favorite table topic. Thank you, team.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, fellow Toastmasters. Yes, it's time to get weird, and it's time to put you all in a very weird situation. So for my first weird situation, I have a person who is sitting very much relaxed at the moment because he thinks he has absolutely nothing to do. So Toastmaster Fine, please come on stage.
Word of the day.
What's the word of the day?
Eerie.
Eerie is the word of the day, and your topic is you wake up in the morning and you listen to a loud number. The floor starts to shake. And the room's door just bangs and something comes in. What's next? Over to you.
Thank you, TM Saad, DTM Saad. The floor rumbles and somebody comes in. And it's a Jurassic Park. I'm in Jurassic Park and I see a dinosaur in front of me. Really scary, really eerie, the middle of the night. I know what he's going to do next. I'm frozen, laying on the bed. I see what he's trying to do, what he's going to do. He opens his mouth. I have a water bottle just next to me. Oh. Before he fires me from his mouth, I take the water bottle out and throw water in. But I realized there's no water in the water bottle. Oh. I had been scared all night for no reason, and I had been drinking anyway. So I've got no water left. What do I do next? I've got another trick. My wife is more scary. I call Aisha. Aisha comes running. She's more eerie. Dinosaur runs off. Over to you, tabletop.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Fahim, and I'm sure you must be warmed up now. So for my next table topic speaker, I have Toastmaster Azaz Memon. Toastmaster Azaz, are you with us?
Toastmaster Azaz, are you there? Yes.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and
turn on your video
if possible.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
possible.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so your topic is you wake up the whole night watching movies, horror movies, not horror movies. You wake up the whole night, you watch movies, and then suddenly the people around you, your friend, your cousin, your sibling absolutely vanish, and you listen to a noise. So what happens next? Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. So, can you remind me what's the word of the day?
The word
Do
of
we have
the day
one
is
today?
eerie. It's eerie, means strange or weird.
Okay. So, thank you, Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, I'm trying to think about a situation. Like I do watch movies and series all the night, but not the horror ones because I do not like them. But if I have to watch a horror movie with my siblings and cousins, and suddenly I feel that no one is around me and some horror scene is coming, then I will definitely panic and try to look for my brother or my cousin. And then obviously, if I can find them, I will pause the video and go out from the room and searching for my brother, because that time is too creepy for me to watch that scene altogether. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Azaz, for your wonderful response. Next, I have Toastmaster Abid Habib. Toastmaster Abid, can you please? So your topic is you visit a museum, and while visiting you see various characters like from the World War II and from the past like Stalin, Hitler, and all that, and suddenly they all come to life. What would you do? Over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters, dear guest, it's a wonderful experience to visit a museum, and whenever you visit, the last time I visited Madame Tussauds Museum, and I have seen like you mentioned about the characters. Also, I saw the Benazir Bhutto's museum statue, and definitely, my favorite politician was Benazir Bhutto. And when I realized that if she comes in power again, or if she comes alive, definitely she must be the most important personality of Pakistan, especially in today's political scenario. And we need the leadership. We need the strong leadership, because who can come along with the Pakistan and in the current instability, political instability, economic instability. This is very important to have those type of characters, which are very important. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abid, for your intellectual response. Next, we have Toastmaster Shakil. Toastmaster Shakil, can you please come on to the stage? Yeah. So your topic is it's bright sunny morning and you're playing football. Suddenly the ball goes to a house, and as it enters there, the sky turns absolutely black. There's rain, there's lightning, but you still need at all. You go to that house, you knock the door, and the door opens. What happens next? Over to you.
Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Just can you imagine? It's all darkness everywhere, raining very heavily. Where's my ball? I was just kicking it a while ago. I heard a sound. It must have gone to that house. I knocked it. An old lady coming to me. Why are you here? What I have to do? I'm shivering. Well, of course, there's all darkness everywhere with heavy raining. Who is he? Who is she? Even if she's human or not, I'm very scared. Ma'am, can you please give me my ball? Which one? Do you need a water? Oh, he might brand me something. They're not good for me. But yes, ma'am, give me. The old lady went into the house, came with a glass of water. I said to her, ma'am, can you please close your eyes? Right? Yes, please. Okay. Just accurately acting that I drank it, poured down, relaxed. So I was again in front of her. Ma'am, please give me the ball. I have to play. No response. Suddenly, she came towards me. I was very frightened. It was good for me to run away and save my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shakil, for that humorous response. And with that, we will bring this table topics to an end, but not without treating the response by our very passionate, distinguished Toastmaster Tiana McEnroy. She says that thanks, Toastmaster Madam, I am in Toastmaster clubs in 2000 to 2023. This nutrition world champion public speech. I have had a lot of practice as speech better on the stage. Now I am improving the speech as powerful inside with my disability stronger, and I can use the chat box for my answers as table topics, where I know the fact that the Toastmaster club, with my body language and eye contact to the audience, will be clapping my hands. I feel so proud that lovely awards, 16 ribbons. Thanks, Toastmaster Club team. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Diana, for your wonderful tabletop days. And Mr. Timer, have all the speakers qualified?
Yes.
All the speakers have qualified, and you will get the boards very shortly. So in the meantime, it's back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Fida Aziz.
Thank you, Ian Saab. Next, I would like to ask TM Anam, how many pair of shoes you own?
Technically, the ones that go good with me are only two.
Okay. Next, I would like to announce the general evaluator. The TM Tala is the general evaluator.
Thank you so much. So we are 17 minutes behind. That's my first piece of journalism. And I'm shocked because we are only 17 minutes behind. So we'll get on with it. And I'll try to disclose some weird facts about myself along the way. And by the end of the general evaluation session, I'd appreciate if any of you have a spare room, perhaps that would be needed. So the first weird fact about myself: I like to sleep on the edge of the bed. Yeah, just hanging about to fall off. So that's my favorite position to sleep. I don't know why or how. That's the case. So our first speech was, in fact, a critique by Nitin Sarfraz of the World Championship speeches. And it's fortunate that it will not be evaluated because it's not evaluatable. So what we can say, except that I believe Nitin Sarfraz, we should be personally thankful to you, because I don't think anyone else could have provided the rundown of all 8 speeches in 22 minutes with such clarity and such humor. And yeah, it was also very pleasant to hear you quite heavily criticizing some of the speeches, because deep down we all feel jealous of these people on the stage, right? So that's music to our ears. Thank you for that. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza, and I pronounced your name correctly, Toastmaster. Yeah. So, and his evaluator is DTM Sashweb. So everyone please put their hand up for that. And can someone volunteer to time the evaluation? All right. Thank you so much.
Was it 2 to 3 minutes?
2 to 3. Yeah. You should come more often.
Oh, I will need to borrow somebody's phone.
I think that when
Next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the time of the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmaster and guests, and especially Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza. Mufaddal, okay. I
am there, Baba.
The listening continues. Said it right previously then. Mufaddal Murtaza. So you began by talking about Valentine's Day and your family. Technically, the person listening to that speech would think that you are talking about your wife, but you took a full U-turn and you talked about a non-living thing of all things you could have named. So yes, I like the hook at the beginning of your speech. I like how you gave an introduction, and then you move to the body, and then at the end you your message was quite evident. The way you had a visualized the road towards Monal was absolutely amazing because just two weeks back I just went on that road and I could just feel what you were saying. Your content was spot on, and your vocal were quite understandable. But there's always a but, and but your vocals were more like a monotone, even though you had various roles during your speech, but your vocals were quite of the same page, same base and all that. So that's something you can work upon. And number two, your movement was not purposeful. You were just at your will, moving here, moving there, and that's something to work upon. But overall, wonderful content, wonderful speed. Best of luck for your future project. Over to you, General.
Before calling our third evaluator, I'd like to inform everyone that I do not binge watch any TV show. I, as a rule, do not watch more than 2 episodes at a time.
You would like to confirm?
Yeah, please.
Please.
Toastmaster? Yeah. Do I watch ever more than 2 episodes at a time of any?
Yeah, be honest.
At a time. In a day, he can watch 4 episodes.
But not consecutively.
He can watch 2, and the rest he watches in the night.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Our third evaluator is Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar, and he'll be evaluating Toastmaster Fiza Ali's speech. So,
Is it my turn?
yes, it is.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator, and thank you, Toastmaster Fiza, for your speech. And I remember very well that I have already evaluated you in one speech, and let me repeat, and at the cost of repetition, what I like most in your speeches is your confidence, your fluency, and your usage of language. All 3 combined will enable you to be a DTM much before me and Imran Rana. And thank you for bringing your speech today, a subject in a very unique way called weird. It is really pleasant to know the advantage and benefit of weirdness. Contrary to the popular imagination, you invited all of us to be weird, and with some examples from real life. John Lennon, you as a musician, though I like him as as ideologue. Picasso, and actually, to me, weirdos are the one who have the opinion that aren't mainstreamed. And it's good to see you to be a weird in many ways. People are likely to be open with weirdos. They usually tell the content of their heart. They share their secret with those who are weird because they are not afraid with weird people. Here is my confession. In my childhood, I had a habit of smelling petrol. Second part of your speech, what I also like is some gestures, your hands movement. For example, when you said the mental capacity, while indicating it with your fingers with your head. What I don't like so much, you are carrying a paper with you in the first part of the speech. That was quite restricting your speech, and it is good that you threw it away. I think in the halfway. The second suggestion for you is when we are speaking in the Toastmasters, we need to be a little formal so as to make a difference between our conversation and the speech. For example, you at any cost should start from Mr. President, dear Toastmasters and guest. It is a formal introduction. We are not supposed to say ladies and gentlemen, although it is not entirely wrong in general context. Overall, it's a very good speech with very good content. To borrow a phrase from Latif Mansoor Ali, speak loud, be weird, and thank you to make us weird. Over to you.
Thank you so much for that dose of weirdness. And of course, I also like smell of petrol. Of course. So yeah, so it figures. So our next speaker was Toastmaster Megba Velaram, and his evaluator, or rather, the person whose target speaker is Toastmaster Megbar is Toastmaster Latif Mansoor. Over to you, Toastmaster. Now, where is Latif? Everyone with me now. Where is Latif? See?
DTM Talab and my fellow target speaker Toastmaster Velaram, if it's permitted, can I give a written evaluation, please?
All right. So you're not evaluating right now, you give a written evaluation?
Yes, please, because I did not read the agenda. I didn't know that I am the evaluator.
Oh, all right. No worries, no worries.
I will frequently watch his speech on our YouTube channel and then I will update.
Sure.
Please forgive me, Mr. Velaram, please. I'm sorry.
Not at all. So that the moral of the story is, repeat after me. Read the agenda.
Read the agenda. Reach the agenda, which keeps on changing every time.
Yes, read every version of the agenda. The latest version. All right. So another weird fact about me is that I like to keep my level of coffee or tea exactly 1.5 centimeters from the edge.
From the brim.
Yeah, from the brim. Yeah, so there's your confirmation. So like it has to be exactly 1.5 centimeters. The level has to be exactly 1.5 centimeters from the brim. A little more and it's too much. And then any less, it's too little. So yeah.
I'm sure there's a good reason behind it. What's that?
He's watching the Good Doctor.
No. That has been true like for years before that. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Mohammad Asghar, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan. So over to you. And one weird fact about Toastmaster Hiba is she never holds anything back. She is so refreshingly honest about everything. So beware Toastmasters.
Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster as well. What I liked about your speech was that you had good clarity, and in your speech, you had good eye contact, and during the time you spoke, there was good audience awareness as well. During the time you spoke, you had good comfort level as well as confidence, and I could detect no sign of hesitation. You had constructed the speech well with good examples, which engaged the audience's interest. You definitely shared an effective way of public relations strategy where you mentioned that, you leave the public media dealing to the young youth, devise a shortcut where you leave the public media dealing to the youngsters in your speech, I remember. And however, there were some areas of improvement in your speech. Firstly, you could have incorporated vocal variety to make it more interesting. Secondly, you could have used more hand and body gestures to express yourself in the speech. And thirdly, I personally thought that your background was a bit distracting, and you could have used a bit of more of a plain background to avoid it. Overall, it was a good effort, and with slight improvements in your next project, you definitely will become a better speaker.
Thank you so much. 1 minute 34 seconds. Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Yeah. So, all right. Before moving on to our next speaker. Yeah. So another weird thing about me is that I cannot mix two edible things and eat it. So like I'll never mix dal with chawal. Oh. I will never mix raita with biryani. I will never mix fried rice with any of the sauces. So it's absolute nightmare. Like I run away from the table if I see something mixed. Yeah.
Yet he can dip a jalebi in it. Anyway.
That's my next one. Come on, don't spoil it. All right. So, all right. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Wase Ahmed, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Anamka.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, and dear Toastmaster Wase. You had a really strong speech. Content was there. The message was there. Expressions came out really nicely. You had great hand gestures when you said yours truly, when you acted as if you were high. So these were really nice gestures and expressions that you gave. But the first thing that I was looking forward to when you started off with the speech, you said, instead of you said, when I think of my journey, I think of this quote. Instead of that, you could have directly used the quote and started off with your speech. This would have added a curiosity for the listeners to know more why you quoted this sentence, this phrase, and what you were going to go ahead with. It was nice when you touched a few parts from every speech, what you learned from your evaluations, how did you deliver it, what hindrances you faced when you were going through all the different phases of your pathway. Great humor. You attributed your great efforts, your good speeches, and presented a tribute to your mentor. That was something, a very nice gesture. However, while delivering your speech, at places I thought that you were actually reading the content. Though you were giving the expressions that were needed, you were pulling off with your hand gestures, but I couldn't find the couldn't see the eye contact that I needed to engage with. Maybe that was dark, but still, even after opening my eyes wide, I still found out that you were looking at something below the camera screen. And the foremost thing was, something was continuously rotating in your background. that was distracting me the whole time. I tried to focus on you while you were sitting in the dark. The something light came back after every 2 seconds. Literally, I counted that. After every 2 seconds, it came back and distracted me from your content. Overall, it was a really nice speech, Toastmaster Wase. You tried to fight all those sounds, all those reprimandations, all those scoldings that were carrying on in the background. You fell in the beginning with a little distortion in your tone, in your speech rhythm. Yet, you learned how to overcome those sounds, how to present your speech in a better way. You came back stronger, delivered it well, with the message that was needed, with the expression that you needed, and you turned out triumphant. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nala. And now here's a weird fact about Toastmaster Nala. No, sorry. No, I need to go. So, apologies, Toastmaster Irfan Faruqi. I missed you out, but now it's your turn to evaluate Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali's keynote speech. So over to you, Toastmaster Irfan, and make sure you see the timer's window. Toastmaster Fahim is sitting right there.
Yes, I can see. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, thank you very much for the evening. You delivered a very good speech. The way you were talking from the beginning till the end, it looked that I'm listening to a very confident person, a person who has a long background in career, has dealt with many people, and he knows how to talk about. Now, listening to your evaluating 22 minutes speech, so I would go in a rush. I would say that you're very comfortable when you started your speech, although in the beginning you took a few seconds to start your speech. You did not straight away start your speech. You took a few seconds. Having said that, I would say that 3 things were very good in your speech. Your vocal variety was very good. There was an ups and downs when you were talking. Your tone was very good. And then your eye contact was also very good. You never looked at the sky, you never looked at your feet, you were directly looking at the camera. And that's something very good about your speech. Third thing very good about your speech is that you included a story in your speech, and stories are always engaging. And that is why people were, including me, we were involved what you are saying. But from beginning till end, there was a story, but there were 2 things that I would say that had a non-positive content. First of all, you said a person called you from Milan and said that this is my issue. Why did he call you? Why? Why didn't he call me? Later on, you said that you are a traveling agent. Come, no, nobody can assume. Maybe close of your friend know what you are doing, but for a strange man, you need at that time to tell that I am a traveling agent. At the end, you said I felt good. I'm sorry, but I would say a customer-focused person should not feel good when he is right and customer is wrong. So the word I felt good was not suitable in your story. Moving forward, I learned a few lessons from your story. You said, I am what I am. This is exactly what I believe in myself. I am what I am. I don't care what people think about me. You said others' expectations are not important. What is important is your goal. Very good lesson. You said, believe in yourself. Excellent lesson. You said, adopt the creativity, and that comes from out-of-box thinking. Excellent thing. You said, do some anticipation. But let me tell you, you said one thing which I don't agree. And I believe it is eerie to follow your advice. You said, don't be afraid of your wife. You said, tell your wife, I don't want to do this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please don't follow him, because he has told you the consequences. then you have to live a bachelor life. He is living a bachelor life. I'm not ready to live like that. So overall, excellent thing, excellent speech, excellent learning. A few tips that I said. Thank you very much. Back to you, journal evaluator.
Thank you so much. So before moving on to the next evaluator, another weird fact about me. And years ago, years before our marriage, I proposed to a girl via email. And I wrote in the email, in the very first email, that if you say no, I would understand.
I'll make your sister.
And guess what she did? So, yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Of course, now I know how lucky I am. And Anand does too. So, now our next speaker is Toastmaster Imran Rana and his evaluator, Toastmaster GQ.
And Toastmasters and guests, we all are very lucky to witness the speech of Toastmaster Imran Rana. The speech when we heard from him, we were of this age. We've all grown up now. So thank you very much for so thank you very much for coming on the stage and giving us a speech today. And we are highly honored to hear your speech. Right. So Toastmaster Imran Rana, wonderful speech. Wonderful speech, right? Your project was to persuade people, persuade individuals for some sort of objective. You persuaded us very well, right? The message was very loud and clear communicated that do not shy off what you want to do, right? No matter whatever the words say about you, no matter whatever the comments are, no matter whatever the perceptions are, no matter what you get into the road where you want to go to the destiny, and when you should go, you should travel on that road and achieve your destiny. So the message was loud and clear. You started off with a very good, what you can call it as a punchline, like I looked like a crow and sang like a nightingale. So this was a wonderful. Your laugh in between the speech was wonderful. The way you were laughing, it was really something really good, which I was noticing. One thing was that from the very beginning of your speech, you captivated the entire audience. So from the very first word till the last word, everybody was quite attentive and everybody wanted to listen to exactly what your story is all about. You started off a very good story of your own, of your childhood, and then you built it on. And there was a lot of suspense, especially regarding what India has just done today, right? India has just landed their mission on the moon, the Chandrayaan-3, but they don't know that our Pakistani has been doing a moonwalk since ages, right? So we are the first one to walk on the moon. So Imran Rana is congratulations to you. So that was a suspense, and I was just anticipating that you will perform a moonwalk, and eventually you did, and you did it very well. So overall, your body language, your tone, eye contact, stage movements, everything was good. Content was very good. We all enjoyed it. Just a piece of an advice: keep coming over here every week. We want to listen to you. You really have got a good content. You really have got a very beautiful style of delivery. The only thing which is needed is consistency. So please do come on the stage every week. Over to you, General Manager.
Thank you so much. Well, I believe that we're done with the speech evaluations, and I think all were qualified, if I'm correct.
GM Oscar, 3 minutes, 37 seconds.
3 minutes, 37 seconds. Okay. Mr. President, what do you say?
And also DTM Sarirpan, 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
3 minutes and 41 seconds. So, Mr. President, what do you say? 7 and 11 seconds overshot of 2 evaluators.
Okay, can I have the question again, please?
Yeah, 2 of the evaluators overshot their times by 7 and 11 seconds respectively.
I guess in this interest, since we are celebrating, we can include it. But generally speaking, even 1 second over is disqualification. And the reason for that is because some of these members will be competing in the evaluation contest at some point. So to make sure that they stay within time. But since it's a celebration, I'll let you decide, if you want to, just go ahead and leave them in. Because it's today, I guess I should ask our guest of honor, Toastmaster Anam Qadri.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, if she says yes, then go ahead and include them.
She says yes.
She said,
yeah.
Make everyone disqualified except her.
She said yes. She can object to your use of the word bummer, but not evaluators. And thank you, Mr. President, for VPE.
So it's strange that
asking this question.
It's strange that two of them disqualified. What a bummer.
Yeah. So you are not supposed to say that, and that's why we are including them. So everyone, please put your hands together for our table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator DTM Taha. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would like to congratulate DTM Sashwe for such a wonderful table topic. But before congratulating DTM Saad, we should congratulate Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, who come up with a weird theme, and Saad was able to come up with weird table topics and made all of us weird. So the first speaker was Fahim Razak. Toastmaster Fahim Razak, I loved your confidence. I'm sure you must have got a topic after getting a topic. You must have got a speech topic after getting the table topic. Yes, it was complete. It was totally a complete speech. Your confidence level was great. The best thing about your speech was you brought wonderful humor in your speech. And what I would like to suggest you, that whenever you get a table topic, try to deliver it according to the requirements of table topic speech pattern. Since this is for all Karachi Toastmasters members, that they should come with deliver a table topic speech in a sense that they are delivering it in a table topic speech contest. So you will make sure everything that what should be in the table topic, so that you can get all the ticks in at the contest. So next one was Toastmaster Azaz. I can understand Toastmaster Azaz that once you get a weird speech topic, you struggle to deliver, to come up with thoughts so that you can deliver it. But your confidence level was good. The only suggestion I would suggest you that try to keep a distance from the camera so that we can see your hand gestures as well. Since you were sitting and delivering your speech, only your face was visible. Since you're not DTM, since we are not interested in your facial expression, maybe you can add your hand gestures. So it will make a big difference, and it will create a good impact. And overall, I love your confidence. And then we had Toastmaster Abid. Toastmaster Abid, after a long time, what I love about your speech, that you were composed, calm, and you spoke quite well with confidence. The only thing which I would like to suggest you, that you were clasping your hand. So when you were using your hands, it was quite impactful, but when you clasping your hands, it felt like that, although you were not what do we call, hesitate or feel nervous, but better not to clasp your hand, maybe leave straightly, or maybe use your hand according to the flow of your speech. And lastly, we had Toastmaster Shakil. Toastmaster Shakil, amazing speech, amazing body gesture. You not only deliver a speech, you actually acted upon the table topic. So all your gestures were according to the flow of your speech. Sometimes it looked little over, but since it's a table topic, and in table topics we struggle with thoughts and we struggle to organize them. But you aced it, not only in organization but also the way you were using your body language. Sometimes it felt a little over, but it was in the end it was overall amazing. So the speech, I can say that you just got a speech idea from that table topic. So those Toastmaster Fahim Razak and Toastmaster Shakil, you should thank Toastmaster DDM Sashway for giving you a speech idea. Overall, all the speeches were wonderful, amazing, full of confidence. The only suggestion, whenever you are delivering your speeches, make sure that you are following the table topic speech ballot. And over with that, I would like to hand over charge back to the general manager.
Thank you so much, Mr. Table Topics Evaluator. Now it's time to move on to the facilitator reports. And our first facilitator for today is Toastmaster Al-Qadri as grammarian and word master.
Oh, thank you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, coming up with the good ones first. The good words and phrases that I encountered were first telepathy, embrace the insanity, I am my own favorite, jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, that's the exact expression you used, once bitten, twice shy, perfect combination of imperfect. However, while taking note of all the incorrect usage of phrases, I found out two facts. First thing is the problem of speaking clear and slow is that your grammarian need to mark more mistakes in your speeches. So that came out to be more cranky would be crankier. Screamed aloud is screaming is already allowed. So you don't need to use the word aloud with scream. Stuck yourselves, don't stick to. And then the second error that I found while doing this role was that sometimes out of nervousness, you tend to use extra words just to buy time and sort out the right word in your mind. So a few of those that were used were become success. You could have used successful, with full of energy. It could be either feeling energetic or filled with energy. Cannot sure, cannot ensure. Get that avail can be avail it. Kept doing it, you can say continue doing it. So that's the report from my side. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. So we'll skip the damage report. I think our listener also has that.
Yes, but the report is with me if I can give it on the.
Yeah, you can give it. Yeah, sure. So everyone, please welcome our timer, Toastmaster Muqaddam, who is very different. Listen. Sorry. Yeah. It's late. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one was who said a child's success depends on the attitude. A child's success depends on the attitude.
Toastmaster
What was the order of speech whose topic was about suicide in a world championship contest? What was the order? Okay, not first. First. 8. That was 8.
The last.
Okay. Who said I have to own myself? I have to own myself.
Toastmaster.
Life needs some rest.
Toastmaster Latif.
There are dogs with 2 tails.
Toastmasters, good.
Of course.
You were active.
My bad. Which was the most difficult project faced by Toastmaster Vase?
Managing the audience.
Okay, back to you.
Wonderful reports. I believe we can have a voting between the two reports. And now it's time for me to generally evaluate the meeting. So I somehow realized that being VPE and general evaluator is kind of a conflict of interest. If you get my gist, because I'm responsible for the agenda. So of course it has to be an absolutely fantastic meeting. One of the best meetings you've ever had. You should all be paying me for arranging such a meeting. But anyhow, jokes apart, first of all, thanks to our president. Once again, we started bang on time. So, and again, I believe that it's his commanding presence, even from thousands of miles away, that he forces everyone to turn up on time, which never happened in KTC's history. So thank you so much, sir. And what's more, something stunning today, we had so many guests and wonderful people present during the meeting. We had Toastmaster Brarwani, Toastmaster Naveen Thakkar was there, Toastmaster Abid Ali Habib, Toastmaster Izar Neighbor, Toastmaster SN Jamal, and of course we have Toastmaster Shakib. So fantastic lineup of attendees, and it's doubly impressive when these people come and they have no active role to play. They're just there to witness the meeting. So always amazing. The agenda was challenging because two speakers had to be turned away, one of whom is Toastmaster Adil, the other one is the VPE himself. So, but that's a good problem to have, because the other side is us looking for speakers desperately. I think one unique thing about today's meeting was that we had speeches from all 5 levels of pathways, which shows the breadth of talent and the capabilities of KTC's members, because most of these speakers are not on their first path, but on their second path. So absolutely fantastic job. I don't think there are many clubs which would host 2 keynote speeches in one meeting.
Yes.
And 2 entirely different keynote speeches. Table topics were wonderfully done, very efficient, and very well timed with the meeting. Tia Modi played her role absolutely fantastically, because when she proposed the theme, I jumped with joy, because that sounded exactly like someone we all know. So, if I can say one improvement area, of course, time management, although it's better than many other meetings that we've had. We are right now about 20 minutes late. But that included an unplanned ceremony of cake cutting, which took about 10 minutes. So in a sense, we are 10 minutes late. The second thing is facilitator role players. We need to fill them early. So what I'll be doing going forward is I'll call out for facilitator roles first, and only then start embodying the speech slots, because it's time that we have a full roster. The speeches, all of them, one of them was a critique of world champions. The other one was celebrating weirdness. The Toastmaster Latif turned a very engaging story into a keynote, and Toastmaster Asghar redefined, or rather defined, what PR means in such a succinct manner when he said that, going from one governmental department to another is like jumping from frying pan into the fire. So, I mean, the way he summarizes things is second to none. Then, of course, we had Toastmaster Imran Rana doing the moonwalk, and Toastmaster Vase, who delivered a very moving speech in every sense of the word, because he was also moving while delivering the speech. He was distracted by the sound of a baby, which was my fault, by the way. But not exactly my fault, because no one else takes up the Zoom master role. If they do, they'll be more competent. So because I failed to turn, I assumed that the sound was coming from the vicinity of Toastmaster Vase, but it turned out it was coming from another window. So, but despite that, it had zero effect on his speech. So I believe Toastmaster Vase that during that speech of that project of dealing with a difficult audience twice really helped him. So those are some of the improvement areas. But overall, I'm thoroughly grateful to all the members, all the speakers, all the facilitators, because this was once again, in my humble opinion, another unbelievable meeting. So with that, I finish with another weird fact about myself, and that is that I did everything that can be dipped into tea or coffee. So samosas,
Pizza.
sandwiches. When did I dip pizza in front of you? I did. All right. Pizza and rolls and you name it. I mean, anything that can be held, I will try to dip it in tea or coffee. And if you haven't done that, you're missing out on one of the great joys.
I know an equally weird person in my friend. He actually dips the samosa into ketchup first and then into the tea.
So I'd never go.
So compete that.
That's too twisted for me. So with that, one final time I'll hand over the charge to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Fiza. You just conclude and hand over the charge to the president and ask for vote for the best thing.
Thank you so much for entertaining this wonderful speech, and thank you all for coming. I would like to call out our honored President DTM Sarfraz for the conclusion. Over to you, Sir Sarfraz.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. Fellow Toastmasters, please applaud the wonderful job that Toastmaster Fiza did as the Toastmaster of today's meeting. And now, especially those of you in the room, I would like for you to please stand so we can recognize the fine job that Beach Luxury Hotel did in hosting the meeting, especially the banquet supervisor, Ali Ansari.
Yes.
Can you stand up and
yeah,
applaud for them? Thank you very much. Thank you, Beach Luxury Hotel. We appreciate you hosting us every week, especially today, including our special celebration. I think we do not have any guest who is not a Toastmaster. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So we'll skip then asking for the guest responses. DTM Talha bin Hamid, you mentioned something about, our sour grapes, we are not there. I guess in my opening, I should have mentioned, that, hey, if someone says, hey, Sarfraz, what gives you the right to talk about the speeches given at the World Championship? Who are you to do that? I would have said that, hey, coming in second to a world champion of public speaking and losing to him by just 1 point out of 18 judges gives me the right to say a few words.
Yeah, of course.
So the purpose was more than just giving an analysis. It was hidden training for members of our club. I was trying to tell, for example, opening. As a speaker, we should not waste time setting up if there's some things that need to be told about the speech, have the person introducing you say it, and you just grab the attention of the speakers right away. Notice how the winning speeches, their openings were compared to the ones who did not win. And again, the ending has to end with a bang. A lot of time we just whimper away. Okay, that's all from my side, Mr. Toastmaster. No, make your message clear towards the end. And then the third and final point was, I was holding this thing here.
Yeah.
This was to tell, do not include a prop that does not fit with the speech. Prop must be part of the speech. Do not force it in just to show the judges, hey, I've got a prop and I can use it. Better not to have a prop than to have a prop that is not used. Notice the first place winner, she was the prop.
Yeah.
The second place winner was also the prop. Only once she took a credit card to show it, and she didn't keep repeating it. The third place winner did not have a prop. So prop is not necessary. If it enhances the speech, use it. And also, while we were in the meeting, I received a friend request from someone. She said, I've been following you on Karachi Toastmaster Club's meetings. That's great. So when I'll be talking to her on Friday, and I'm going to ask her that she needs to join Karachi Toastmasters Club. If you're going to follow me all the way.
Wow.
This was a great meeting. Once again, Toastmaster Anam Qadri, congratulations. A great honor for you, your family, Karachi Toastmasters Club, and District 122. Not only taking second place, but taking second place for the second year in a row, or second consecutive year. And I haven't told anyone, especially DT and Talha, that we need to work with you before the club contest, because the club contest speech will be recorded and sent in. We need to work before that, so that next year, when after they announce the third place and they announce the second place is someone else's name, your name should come in when they say, and the first place winner of the video speech contest is. And we also look forward to the day when District 122 is a full-fledged district, and the district winners will advance to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the World Championship. Toastmaster Imran Rana, thank you for all the assistance that you have provided for this special meeting. Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, as usual, thank you for lining up a great agenda and sending the agenda in advance, several hours before the meeting, so we knew who the speakers are and who the role players are. Any special announcement? DTM Saad Shoaib, do you have any comments?
No, not really.
Okay, I saw you standing. I said, "Oh, you ready to go?" So if you have something to say, we'll ask the host not to turn off the meeting, and once everyone leaves, then you and I can talk.
All good from my side.
And the reason I say that is, I heard about a speaker. He was speaking and he was, too wordy, on and on. And people were so bored, they started clapping. And the more they clapped, he thought they're enjoying it, the more he talked. And slowly the people finally started leaving. One by one, they left. And then he noticed, hey, everyone's gone. And that one person is left. And he said, oh, yeah, glad. At least you're here, so I can keep talking. And he said, no, I'm the janitor. I have to clean up the room right after you leave. If there are no more comments, the meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you very much.
The results, the votes are ready. That's
Yes. Yeah. Well, the meeting is adjourned, but the announcement is not adjourned. Okay. So with the vote counter, yeah, because that's what I was asking him why you're standing. Well, please announce the results.
Yes, sir. I was actually intimidated by you that what to say and what not to say.
Sorry about that.
The votes are ready, and the best prepared speaker goes to the person who wasn't talking about ice cream. So the best prepared speaker goes to Toastmasters. Just about 20 more projects to go for your DTN. Not much. I know, I will be. I don't see it happening, but that's happening. What the man? Yeah. The best debate topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Fahim Razak. The best prepared speech evaluator goes to Toastmaster Anam Kadri. The best Toastholder award goes to the proxy of Toastmaster Mufaddil. And the best Big Four award goes to thank you for whoever ever voted right now because as I could have had to break the tie. So the best Big Four award goes to the person who came up and managed a wonderful team, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster. With that, over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you, DTM Saad Shoaib. And before I announce the results of the Critics' Choice Award, I would once again like to thank Toastmaster Irfan Farooqi and Toastmaster Aizaz for joining us. Not only they joined us, they have stayed with us from the start of the meeting until the end of the meeting. Thank you. We appreciate that. Some of you may have heard the debate in Toastmasters, does speaking order matter in speech contests? Some say no. Some say yes. Generally speaking, it does matter because judges are reluctant to give high marks or high points to the early speakers, especially speaker number one. And as time goes by the time you get to 7th and 8th speaker out of 9 speakers, then they know, okay, we've heard everyone and this was great. And the reason I mention is you might notice something about the 3 names I'm about to mention. So here are the results of the Critics' Choice Award. Drum roll, please. In 3rd place, speaker number 6, Muhammad Asghar. Congratulations. In 2nd place, speaker number 7, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmad. And in 1st place, speaker number 8, Toastmaster Imran Rana. That concludes our announcement of the results, and it also concludes the meeting. We'll see you next week. Until
Thank
then,
you so much, everyone. And see you all.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Be safe. Allah Hafiz.
Allah. Congratulations.